All right, so you may have seen this bobber out on the channel. This is one of 4 now of these Gen 1s I have. This is a XV750 82, and then I got an 81 stock. I got one that I'm going to do a cafe, and then I just recently got a 920. One of the subscribers out on the channel asked, since I had done some mods on the compression releases and some of these things, that he wondered whether or not I could make an oil cover for these old Gen 1s. And so there's the oil cover. This one's actually still good. It's nice and shiny and all the tabs are still on it. But 2 of the other motors that I have, they have broken tabs on them. So I'm always up for a little challenge, and figured, what the heck, I got a lathe and a mill, so let's give it a shot and see if we can make one of these covers and see what we can do. So after a little bit of setup, a little bit of work, ta-da, we got an oil cover. And so the difference is, some of the things that aggravate me about these oil covers is, number one, they have the screwdriver flats on the sides, and so you have to pry them up with a screwdriver to get them off of there. And so what I did on the one that I made, I added 2 little jack screws right here, little holes. And so what I can do is, when I go to do my oil change, I just have to use 2 of the 3 bolts, put them in there, and I can back that thing back off versus having a screwdriver back and forth and back and forth. So let's put this new guy on here and see what he looks like. So what I did, I took all the dimensions off the existing one, set up some fixturing so I could repeat it and make them exactly the same. And that way I got everything lined up. Got the oil flow hole in the right spot, exactly the same as the stock one. So we should be in really good shape. So let's get set up over here and see about putting this guy on here and see how good he looks. So we all know the deal on removing these. So I got the bike leaning over a pretty good ways, and I'm not going to take the oil out. Hopefully I got it leaned over far enough that the oil will stay up in there for the most part. And I haven't started the bike, so the oil should be down. So I'm just going to put me a little pad in there, and then we'll break this one loose. Like I say, this is still a good one. It doesn't have broken tabs or anything, so it's a keeper for me. I don't know, I might sell it if somebody's needing one now that I can make my own. And I can just make me some more if somebody's wanting one of these OE ones with the weak tabs. One of the big things you run into on these is that these are cast aluminum, and so they're not very strong, and so that's why these tabs keep breaking off. But this guy right here, he's made out of a solid chunk of aluminum, so it's billet, and aluminum is a whole lot stronger on these billet ones than it is on the cast aluminum. So we got better tab strength that I would venture to say. We won't have any of them breaking off anymore. So let's get these out, and hopefully we won't lose a lot of oil. The other thing that I did by adding those the jack screw holes right here, I'll show you how those work in a minute. I'll put it on there and see how it looks, and then we'll take it back off. I'll show you how easy it is to get off. So by putting those on there, it made those tabs even stronger because I was able to add a little more meat to it. Alright, so everybody knows the deal. Get one of these off, you gotta put your screwdrivers in the flats, which I hate. It's one of the reasons why I put the jack screws on there, because you gotta try to ease these things out. If you just do it with 1 screwdriver, you're gonna be here all day. But you can use 2 screwdrivers and kind of pry out on it and get it to loosen up. And it's dripping a little bit of oil. I can get them to loosen up and then pop it off there. There we go. So there's our stock cover. We got the little O-ring right here, needs to be there to keep it from leaking. Got the big O-ring on top and the one that seals to the outside world so it doesn't leak. So there's our old cover, and everything looks pretty clean. So, oh, by the way, the filter goes in there with the hole out on these. So make sure the hole's out. That gasket's what seals up on the cover. So that goes in there. Make sure it's all the way to the back. If you get it caught on that edge and you go to tighten these covers down, you'll break a tab off really quick. So make sure that guy's centered, pushed all the way up in there. Now, all we got to do is transfer these O-rings. So then, this guy replaces that stock one. And he goes on there just like the other one. So just push it on there and make sure that it's seated all the way down before you start putting any bolts in. So, now just got to line it up. So I would venture to say I won't be breaking any tabs on this one with this billet extruded aluminum versus cast aluminum. So once we get everything set up, get our tab put in there, right? Tighten it down to our heart's content. Right. Let's wipe all the fingerprints off and see what it looks like. So there we go. So there is a custom oil cover. And we're probably not going to have any more problems with breaking tabs anymore. So pretty cool indeed. Kind of gives it a little custom with those little screws on it. Looks quite nice. All right. So here's where the good part comes in. We'll get ready to take this guy off for an oil change. We don't need them screwdrivers anymore, because what we're going to do is use these bolts. So let's just pretend I'm going to change the filter. So we'll break it loose. All right. And then what we're going to do is take these bolts out. Here, and this bolt we're going to put in that new little jack screw hole. And this one we're going to put down in that jack screw hole. This one we're going to take all the way out. There we go. Alright, so now when it comes time to remove this guy, we got him made. All I'm going to do is hand tighten these screws down, and what they do is they lift that cover off. So just go back and forth by hand, turning it little by little, and bam, off it comes. So super simple that way. No more risk of screwdrivering up the side of my cover anymore. And I don't have to worry about damaging anything. And bam, I can get that guy right up there. So there we go. There's my take on making an oil cover, custom one. Like I say, a whole lot stronger than that original. And I put some nice little features on there that I like. And hopefully that one's going to last us quite a while. We're not going to have to worry about breaking any more tabs. So yeah, now that I'm set up on it, I got the fixturing made. I actually made several more of those in case anybody's needing one. Got some broke tabs on some Gen 1s, and also looking at trying to see if it's the same for the 84 and 85 for the XV700 and the 1000. Now there we go. Alrighty, well thanks for watching.